A very good evening everyone. Welcome to IAS with Arihant. Student, as you know, every day at 9 p.m. we are discussing about the Indian polity. And today once again we are going to start with the same. And we all know the polity is one of the most important portion of your UPSC examination as well as for the state PSC examination. If we talk about for the prelims examination as well as for the mains examination. But this series is especially for the prelims examination, means this is especially planned, this is especially created for the prelims examination. So you must go with the basically this classes. You if you are very new to the channel, please subscribe the channel as well as press the bell icon for the regular update of the videos. And students, this session is based on a book that is specially published by Arihant named as Prelims Possible, and this is available for the other subject also. But here we are going to miss in this class we are going to discuss about the Indian polity. So let's begin the session without wasting time. Okay. And see, there are lots of features, there are lots of uniqueness about this book. As we all know, there are lots of books in the market. But why this book is unique and why this book is important for your preparation? If you see, students, this book is divided into chapter wise, and that chapter is divided into topic. There's a topic based mind map, there's a topic based MCQs. Along with that, students, it contains 100% error free explanation. There is a knowledge plus for the typical question and 3500 plus previous year question bullets, students. So these all are the feature that is going to save your time as well as going to give you concept for the prelims examination as well as for the mains examination. So in the today's session we are going to discuss about the functioning of parliament and parliamentary committee. Okay, so there will be multiple topic. There is approximately 4 topic, and in the first topic we'll discuss how the parliament proceed, what are the different activities, what are the different events that is conducted inside the parliament. So we already discussed, students, there's a parliament, and see, parliament is mentioned in article 79 of the Indian constitution. And what parliament do, basically it is a union legislature. What it do, it is a legislature that make law for the nation. So union parliament is a law-making body for union, and it contain basically President of India, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, students. So these 3 body combinedly considered as the parliament. And students, we already discussed from 79 to 122 is mentioning about the parliament and its proceeding, its function and other activities also. Okay, so we already discussed ki there is a Lok Sabha and it has some special power. Rajya Sabha, it contains some special power, and there are some common power both of means available to both of them, like impeachment of President of India. In that case, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha can introduce bill, basically introduce impeachment bill. In the same format, students, let's suppose any house want to introduce an ordinary bill, they can do. In the matter of constitutional amendment, both houses have the same power. But we already discussed Lok Sabha has some special power in regard the financial matter. Rajya Sabha has a special power in regard the state matter. Now you say, sir, what is state matter here? So let's suppose parliament want to make any law over the state subject. In that case, Rajya Sabha resolution must required for the same. Let's suppose a new All India service is going to be created. Rajya Sabha must pass a resolution for the same, students. So to conduct this session, students, basically parliament majorly meet for 3 times, but see, it is not written in the constitution, they can meet for n number of time, but there is very important line written in the constitution: they must not create gap for more than 180 days. So it is very compulsory within 6 months both house, means basically parliament, meet together, they do a session. Okay, so students, they meet for the monsoon session as well as winter session, students, and very recent one, that is budget session. So in the budget session, it is for the planning, future planning, how they are going to take the taxes and how they are going to invest over the people of India. Okay, there is a parliamentary session, students, and there's a, see, it begin with the joint sitting. See, this joint sitting is not over the deadlock. You can say it is a combined sitting, when basically this house is going to be addressed by the President of India. So first session is sometime it's the choice of President, as he is the head of the nation. If he want to address, then he can address students. Okay, so parliamentary session will be here, and students parliamentary functioning is mentioned under Article 118 of Indian Constitution, and there is a different time slot for the different activity. There is a hour that is called as question hour. Okay, so as we all know, basically Parliament meet for 11 AM every day. Okay, when they are in session, and the first hour is called as question hour. 0 hour is just a start after the question hour, means it is between 11 AM to 11 PM to 1 PM. So question hour, 0 hour, this is also very important, and I just added here basically a photograph for you to understand what it means and what we are going to do in this session, students. So basically 0 hour, special mention, calling attention. In that case, students, let's suppose any urgent law or any urgent matter, so they can basically raise the issue here. Okay, everyone. After that question are here. Basically, they can ask, means basically Parliament member can ask question 20 star question and 155 unstart question. Start question is basically written question where they are going to mark star. Okay, everyone. Then there will be lunch, and then there will be bill presentation, and over the bill discussion is going to be done. Okay, so this is an outline. Okay, lots of things is going to be done here. Like one is called as motion. So motion is simply, you can say, it is a proposal, or it is a basically consent seeking. Okay, let's suppose I am going to ask, or I am going to introduce a motion. How many of you want this class timing should be changed? So in the same format, students, I given basically a proposal to you, or basically question to you. Now you people are going to make decision on the same. Okay, so after taking decision, I'm going to make some procedure for the same students. So in the same format, there are basically obtaining a decision of the house. Okay, so this is also very important, and there are different type of motion. One is called as substantive motion, self-contained independent proposal, substitute motion. So motion in substitution of original motion and propose an alternative to it. Okay, so no confidence motion, as we all know, ki when basically the Council of Ministers failed to pass any bill in the Lok Sabha, it means that they lost the majority in Lok Sabha. So this is brought by opposition, especially now opposition. Okay, this is a closer motion. It is basically moved by member to cut short the debate on the matter before the house. Motion of thanks, it is basically express gratitude to the President of India. So as we all know ki it is happening, all the session is called by the President of India. Budget is after the means it is recommended by the President of India. So see, if let's suppose session is going to end, in that case, and it means lots of bill is going to be passed. So basically Parliament member is going to present a motion of thanks. Okay, so it will be sent to the President of India. Getting it? Okay, so the things are easy, and but you need to understand it very clearly. Then adjournment motion, basically it is for the attention to an urgent matter of public importance, but there is a condition, 50 member must agree to bring that motion, students. Call attention motion, so basically it is especially for, let's suppose, any minister or ministry, you want to seek attention of that concerned ministry, then you can, means basically the member of Parliament can introduce it. Then there is a privilege motion to address the breach of privileges of a member of Parliament. Okay, so let's suppose someone's privilege is going to be destroyed, maybe it is, so there will be privilege motion. Cut motion, to oppose the demand of grant made by the Government of India, students. So these are some motion. Then students, here some parliamentary privileges mentioned under Article 105 of the Indian Constitution. Okay, and see, it is available in two format, one for individual and one for the collective. Individual, you have freedom of speech and expression. Okay, you have certain immunities, means you can't be arrested during the time of session, and then there's the collective privileges, ability to publish reports, debate proceeding, as well as ability to prevent other from doing so. Okay, then there's the legislative proceedings. These all are the parliamentary function. So as we all know, parliament, what they do, they legislate law. So there's a different type of bills like ordinary bill. It is mentioned under Article 107 of Indian Constitution. There's a money bill under Article 110 of Indian Constitution. Then there's a financial bill that is mentioned under Article 117 clause 1 as well as 117 clause 3. Okay, constitutional amendment bill that is mentioned under Article 368 of the Indian Constitution. So these are some articles also that is important to remember for the examination. So this is a mind map that is going to help you in your prelims examination as well as the mains examination. Now we are going to start with the MCQs, and students, I hope you all are aware about the anti-defection. If you're not, then we will learn in this class about the same today. Okay, so we are going to start with the same, students. If you feel doubt, if you feel difficulties, we all are free to discuss with you to understand your problem. Okay, I hope everything is okay, students. So now first question on the screen of this chapter. Which one of the following statement is correct about the joint sitting of both house of the parliament? Okay, joint sitting, students, this concept we derive from Australia. Okay, it is mentioned under Article 108 of Indian Constitution. And when the joint sitting is going to be called, okay, let's suppose, students, any bill, it is for the national importance and it is presented in Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha passed it, and then that bill reached to the Rajya Sabha, and Rajya Sabha not returning that bill, okay, or not giving any judgment on that, or not basically it is means they reserve that bill for a long time. In that case, students, if it is a matter for the national importance, okay, so there is a deadlock between these two houses. So there is a President of India. What he will do, he will call a meeting ki, as you have some deadlock, so let's sit together and discuss about the matter. So basically Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha both will sit together. And students, we all know that Lok Sabha has maximum can be 543 member and Rajya Sabha has approximately 245 member. So now if let's suppose they sit together, what is going to happen? The total membership is going to be 778, and out of the 778, 543 will be the Lok Sabha member, only 245 is going to be the Rajya Sabha member. So what you find, students, when this joint sitting will happen, Lok Sabha will get the majority most of the time. So this joint sitting is called by the President of India by using Article 108. But now there is a question where these two houses meet. So they will meet in the Lok Sabha. Why I am telling this Lok Sabha? Because this Lok Sabha member and Rajya Sabha member will sit here, and basically Lok Sabha speaker will be the head for the meeting. And let's suppose the speaker is not available, then deputy speaker of Lok Sabha will be here. Let's suppose deputy speaker is also not there, then see, understand very important thing. I'm just writing, the chairman will never preside over the joint sitting. It is always presided by the deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha. So chairman will never participate here because he is not the member of parliament. Getting it? Now just go to the statement and then we will find the right answer for the same. I hope you all getting it. Okay. So if you see which one of the following statement is correct about the joint sitting of both houses of the parliament? It is convened and presided over by the Speaker of Lok Sabha. Okay, it is convened and presided over by the Speaker of Lok Sabha. Now see the next statement. It is convened when both houses disagree on constitutional amendment bill. Okay, and it is convened when both houses disagree on money bill. So students, we have codes. Only one is correct, only two is correct, only three is correct. None of these. What is going to right answer for the same, students? Okay, so we all know, as we already discussed, basically this meeting is called by President of India, not by the Speaker of Lok Sabha. So it is convened by the President and presided by the Speaker of Lok Sabha. So this statement is going to be incorrect. And students, over the constitutional amendment bill, this joint sitting is not going to be done. As well as if it is a money bill, then Rajya Sabha don't have power to reject that bill or withhold that bill. So if we go with the most appropriate answer, students, it will be none of these or none of the above. I hope you understand it. So basically this outline is going to be important for you. Just remember for the examination. Now we have answer D. So none of the given statement is correct about the joint sitting of both houses of the parliament. Joint sitting is convened by the President. The Speaker of Lok Sabha preside a joint sitting of the two houses. Okay, so the provision of joint sitting is applicable to ordinary bill or financial bill only and not to constitutional amendment bill. It is convened when the both houses disagree on an ordinary bill, students. So it is not for the financial matter, it is not for the constitutional matter. We already discussed about the same. Now there is a Chhattisgarh PSC 2018 question we have. What will happen if the President summon for joint session of parliament and in meantime Lok Sabha dissolve? So let's suppose, students, President call for joint session by Article 108 and Lok Sabha dissolve at that time. What is going to happen? This joint sitting will be held in the scheduled time. Joint session will cancel. Joint session will be held after composition of new Lok Sabha or bill will be lagged. Okay. So see, students, when a president going to call the joint session, so whenever he call it and let's suppose there's means Lok Sabha can be dissolved, in that case nothing is going to be happen and joint sitting will be presided, means it is conduct. Okay, so this is also a fact data, you can say. So if President summons the joint sitting, the parliament and meantime Lok Sabha dissolved, the joint session will be held on scheduled time. It is because the bill does not lapse in this case. Okay, after President announce his intention to call the joint sitting of the two houses, neither house can take action on the measure, students. Now this question was in UPSC IAS pre 2003. Okay, consider the following statement. The joint sitting of the two houses of parliament in India is sanctioned after Article 100A of the Indian Constitution. Okay, the first joint session in Lok Sabha was of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha was held in 1961. That is prohibition of dowry bill. The second joint sitting of the two houses of Indian Parliament was passed on Banking Service Repeal Act, and the third is also there, that was POTA. Okay, Prevention of Terrorism Act. So see, if we see it, so basically Article 108 is for the joint sitting. It is called by the President of India. The first session was held in 1961 for the joint sitting, and it was for the prohibition of dowry, and the second was for the basically Banking Service Commission repeal bill. Okay, so if we go through the right answer, the all statement are correct. Okay, and there are three important basically this joint session is conducted, students: the Dowry Prohibition Act, the Banking Service Commission bill, and Prevention of Terrorism Act 2002. So sometime they also give the name how many joint session is conducted till the time. So majorly three bill was formed, means it is created in the joint session, students. Now the question number 4 we have: the joint session of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha can take place to resolve deadlock over. So we all know that the joint sitting is basically under Article 108. It is called by the President of India if there is any deadlock between these two houses of the parliament. So it is over the ordinary legislation, it is over the money bill, it is over the constitutional amendment bill, or it is over the appropriation bill. So we already discussed this joint session can only done for the ordinary legislation, not for the financial matter, not for the constitutional amendment matter. So this is just a fact. Okay, so this was in UPSC IAS pre 2012 as well as it was in UPPSC 2020 also. So here we have explanation. Okay, so the joint session of the Lok Sabha Rajya Sabha can takes place to resolve the deadlock over the ordinary legislation as per the Article 107 and 108 Indian Constitution and an ordinary bill, whether any matter other than financial subject introduced in any house of the parliament, and this introduced by a minister or a private member. Okay, so see, there is a knowledge plus also. There is no recommendation of president in case of ordinary bill. Ordinary bill can be amended, rejected by Rajya Sabha, and it can be detained by Rajya Sabha for the period of 6 months. After being passed by both House of Parliament, it is presented to the President for approval or assent under Article 111 of the Indian Constitution, students. Okay, so we already discussed about these issues already. Okay, everyone, now we have question number 5. President of India addresses the Parliament under Article 87 of Indian Constitution. So he address. Okay, when he will address? In joint session of both House of Parliament, in joint meeting of both House of Parliament, in joint session of both House of Parliament. Okay, sitting, meeting, session, both House of Parliament assembled together. So when President of India is going to address the Parliament, students. Okay, so this is also important data. As students, if it is about the joint sitting, this is about the Article 108. It is the joint meeting, it is the joint session, for it is also the sitting also the same. So what you find, when they assemble together, at that time President of India will address. Other condition is also there, students, under article, means basically this is for the president. So president after every general election. Okay, so after every general election, the President of India basically addresses to Parliament. In the same format, students, after every general election, and then after this general election, students, and the first session can be addressed by the President. It is not compulsory, it is just a simple procedural. So if he want, he can go and he can address the House. Okay, so under Article 87 of Indian Constitution, the commencement of every session, the President shall address House of the Parliament assembled together and inform Parliament for the cause of its summons, why they called for the meeting. Provision shall be made by the rule regulation, the procedure of the either House for the allotment of time for discussion on the matter referred in such address. Okay, everyone, so this is very, very important. Okay, now see, this question was in multiple examination, Maharashtra, Uttarakhand, UPPSC. So who preside over the joint session of two houses of the Parliament? Once again I will tell you, basically joint session is mentioned under Article 108 of Indian Constitution. It can introduce for the ordinary bill if there is a deadlock between these two houses. It is called by, it is summoned by whom? It is summoned by the President of India. Okay, so who preside over the joint session? It is President, Vice President, Prime Minister, Speaker of Lok Sabha. So we all know the Speaker of Lok Sabha is going to preside over the joint session. If he is not there, then Deputy Speaker of, okay, so there will be Deputy Speaker, and let's suppose Deputy Speaker is also not available, then Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha will take care for the same students. Okay, so he will be head for the same. I hope you all getting it. Anybody have any doubt, any difficulties? Okay, if you have, you guys can discuss with us. Anybody have? Okay, no, then we are moving further. So option D is going to be more appropriate and correct for the same. So the Speaker of Lok Sabha preside over the joint sitting in the two house and the deputy speaker preside over in his absence, and if let's suppose he is also absent, then deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha will be preside over this. Let's suppose he is also absent. In that case, students, such person as determined by the member present for the joint sitting preside over the meeting, students. Okay, so it is going to be chosen by the member by their consensus. Okay, so now 7th question we have, that was in UPSC 2020. Consider the following statement. It is a statement based data. The President of India can summon a session of Parliament at such place as he or she think fit. Okay, the Constitution of India provides for 3 sessions of the Parliament in a year, but not mandatory to conduct all these 3 sessions. There is no minimum number of days that Parliament is required to meet in a year. Now students, you have to choose the correct answer for the same, students. Okay, so see, this question is also going to be important. Okay, so you have to choose the correct one. Okay, read it carefully. We all know the president is the head of the nation, and president will call for meeting, he will summon for meeting. Okay, so President of India can summon a session of the Parliament as such place as he or she think fit. So this statement is correct. Now read the statement number 2. The Constitution of India provides for the 3 sessions. We already discussed in the previous chapter also. There is a condition, the gap should not be more than 180 days or 6 months. So the gap between the 2 sessions must not be more than 180 days. It is provision, this is provision included in the Constitution. There is nowhere mentioned that there will be 3 parliament session, or basically there is any compulsion for conduct all these 3 sessions, students. Now the third statement we have, there is no minimum number of days that Parliament is required to meet in a year. So yes, it is not required, but yes, means this gap should not be more than for 180 days. So what you see, students, if you go through the right answer, basically statement 1 and 2, statement 3 is correct only, statement 2 is incorrect because there is no mention of the 3 parliamentary session. Okay everyone, so statement 1 and 3 are correct. Article 85 of Indian Constitution addresses that requirement of parliament session, prorogation or action of terminating the parliamentary session and dissolution. It states that President has authority to call the meeting of each house of the Parliament at the time and place he seems appropriate. It is power of the President, and there is no minimum days required to meet in a year, but it is very important they should meet between 180 days. Okay, so gap should not be more than 180 days. Okay everyone, statement 2 is incorrect because we all know there is nowhere it is mentioned that they meet for the 3 sessions. Now this question was in UPPSC 2021. With reference to the special address of President of India, which of the following statement is correct? With reference to the special address of the President of India, which of the following statement is correct, students? So the President addresses the joint meeting of both House of Parliament, okay, at the commencement of the first session after each general election of the House of People and at the commencement of first session of the year. So basically it says that the President of India is going to basically address the House jointly when the first session after the general election is going to be meet, as well as first session of each year. Now the second statement you have to read. The President in his address informed the Parliament of the cause of its summons. Okay, so we all know basically President address after the first meeting of the after the general election, and every year basically first session. Okay, so this is correct. And what is, you find students, President in his address inform Parliament why they meet for the session. Students, what is reason behind the same? So if you see, the both statement is correct for the same, students. So we already discussed Article Article 87 of Indian Constitution. The President can address both house jointly. Okay, everyone? Easy, everyone? And after each general election, when the first session for the first time, if this house is going to meet, then they will, means the President is going to address that house. Okay, now we are moving towards the next question. Consider the following statement, IAS pre-2019. The first statement we have, the Parliament Prevention of Disqualification Act 1959 exempt several posts from the disqualification on the ground of office of profit. The above mentioned act was amended 5 times. The term of office is well defined in the Constitution of India. So students, basically it is also decided by whom? It is decided by the Parliament. Who? Okay. So now see, students, the Parliament Prevention of Disqualification Act 1959 exempts several posts from the disqualification on the ground of office of profit. Okay. So if you see, there was an amendment in our Indian Constitution, 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1985. Here a new schedule was added, that is 10th schedule, and that is mentioning about the anti-defection. Okay, and there is a disqualification of member of Parliament also if they acquire the office of profit post. But there are several posts, few posts are here that is exempted from the, means it is not going to be considered as the office of profit. And yes, it is amended multiple times, so till the time it is 5 times. Okay, so if you go with the more appropriate answer, so basically option A is correct, 1 and 2. Office of profit is well defined in Constitution of India. Okay, office of profit is not clearly defined. There is a lots of question multiple time which post is office of profit and which post is not. Okay, so this is also very important. Now see, the statement 1 and 2 are correct. Clause 3 of the Parliament Prevention of Disqualification Act 1959 basically list specific office of profit under the Government of India or state government which does not disqualify the holder for being elected as a member of Parliament. Okay, it is amended in 1993, 1999, 2000, 2005 and 2013, students. Okay, everyone? And students, we all know Article 100 clause 2 100 clause 1 subclause A as well as 191 clause 1 subclause A. It is mentioning that the, office of profit and it is not defined, it is not well defined. It is written there but it is not well defined. Now UPPSC 2007 question means examine the following statement and choose the correct answer from the given option. Okay, so a right to property is not a fundamental right now. Okay, so initially it was a fundamental right under Article 19 clause 1 subclause F and Article 31, students, but we all know there was amendment, that was 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978. This right to property was removed and it became a legal right. Okay, it became legal right and it is sended to part 12 of the Indian Constitution and Article 300 clause A. Now Rajya Sabha can stop a financial bill. Okay, can stop a financial bill. Okay, in the preamble of Indian Constitution, secular democratic word was added by 42nd Amendment of the Indian Constitution. So 42nd Amendment is called as mini constitution. Okay, it is called as mini constitution. And what you see, students, 42nd Amendment modified the preamble of India and that added socialist, secular and integrity word. Okay, otherwise democratic word was initially there. So this statement 3 is totally incorrect. Okay, now any dispute of the parliament can be resolved by the system of Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Any dispute of the parliament can be resolved by the system of Speaker of Lok Sabha, students. Okay, so which of the following is correct? Okay, so let's suppose any dispute, any deadlock arises, then who will call? President will call joint session. So who is responsible for the same? The President of India. He will call a joint session. Okay, so what you find, students, this statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is correct. So Rajya Sabha can stop a financial bill but not money bill. Okay, easy everyone. Money bill he can't control. Okay, so this 1 and 2 is correct, and 3rd and 4th is going to be incorrect, students. Okay, so the most appropriate answer will be A. Okay, so we all know in Indian Constitution, Article 300 Clause A, fundamental right means right to property is now a legal right. Okay, and it was modified by 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978. Financial bill introduced in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha can recommend amendment to in that bill, students. Okay, easy. And we already discussed 42nd Amendment added 3 words, that is secular as well as socialist. Okay, and integrity. Okay, and if there is any dispute between two houses, it will be called by the President of India. Now see, students, this is IAS pre 2014 and 22 question. Which one of the following schedule of the Constitution of India contain provision regarding the Anti-Defection Act? Okay, anti-defection. So anti-defection was introduced in we all know it was introduced in 1985, and there was an amendment, that is 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act. And for remembering this code, I told you 5 into 2 is equal to 10. So under the 10th schedule, there is a provision for the anti-defection, but I am just going to explain the all schedule because this was multiple time in multiple examination. If we talk about students' 4th schedule, it is about the allocation of seats of Rajya Sabha. About the 6th schedule, we all know basically it is about the Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram scheduled tribal area. Okay, management. 8th schedule is about the language. Okay, and it contains 22 language now. 12th schedule is about the anti-defection, students. Okay, so option D is going to be the more appropriate and more correct answer for the same. So the 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution contains provision regarding the Anti-Defection Act. 52nd Amendment Act 1985 provided for disqualification of member of parliament and state legislature on the ground of defection from on political party to another political party. Okay, so let's suppose they are shifting one political party to another political party. In that case, their disqualification will be done by anti-defection. Now, 12th question we have, as per 1985 Anti-Defection Act, this was in Maharashtra PSC 2017. Defection was completely banned, or there is some condition, anyone can be do defection. So minor defection was prevented, major defection was permitted, defection of 1/3 member of elected member always permitted. Let's suppose somewhere the 1/3 member is shifting, in that case it can be done. Okay, so see students, initially this was here, but in 2003 it is modified. Okay, so you have to choose the correct one. So it is completely banned? No. Minor defection is prevented. Okay, so we'll say ki minor defection basically is if there is a condition one third. Okay, so this is not going to be done there. Major defection is permitted. Okay, so if you go through the option, students, what you find, none of the answer is correct regarding this question. Okay, now see the question number 13. The disqualification on ground of defection for a member of parliament will not apply. I told you multiple times, whenever you read the question, you have to see question very carefully. Okay, so in case of a split in the original political party where he elected, so it is not applied. If he has voluntarily given up his membership of a political party, okay, if he abstains from voting in house contrary to direction of the political party, and if nominated member of house join a political party after 6 months. Okay, so see which of the following is correct, students. Okay, so once again these all are the correct only. So in case of split, the original party means basically if he elected from the original party, so there will be no means there is no defection allowed on the same. As you see in the Maharashtra, okay, there was NCP breakdown. Okay, then basically Shiv Sena breakdown is there. If he has voluntarily give up the membership of a political party, it is also not applied. Okay, so all are means correct. Okay, so just see it, means that question was wrong at that time. See the question number 14 we have, it was in Maharashtra PSC 2012. Which statement are not true? Students, whenever you see the question true, not true, you have to respond in that format. With regard to merger of a political party of a member of parliament with another political party, not true regard the merger of a political party of a member parliament with the another political party. Okay, so the member of parliament became the member of the other political party. It is saying that not true. Okay, the member of parliament is disqualified if he not accept the merger. Legislature party is de-recognized by election commission on the ground of defection. Merger takes place only if 2/3 member of the party concerned have agreed on such merger, students. Okay, so if you see merger of a political party of a parliament with the another political party. Okay, so member of parliament became the member of other political party. So if there is a any basically settlement is done between two political parties, automatically you are going to be the party of the other, means member of the other party. Okay, the member of parliament is disqualified if he does not accept the merger. Okay, so this is not true. Okay, legislature party is de-recognized by election commission on ground of defection. So this is also incorrect. Okay, merger takes place only if the 2/3 member of the legislative party concerned have agreed on the such merger. Yes, it is correct, everyone. So statement 2 and 3 is incorrect. So option D is right for the same. Okay, everyone. And students, election commission cannot de-recognize the legislature party on ground of defection. The election commission not vested the power to de-recognize a political party. Okay, so there will be means they will lose their membership, but their party will be still there. Okay, now see the question number 15. Time of 0 hour in parliament is. So 0 hour is basically when the parliament start. When the parliament start, the 0 hour will start, and then question hour. Okay, so basically basically D is going to be the right for the same. Okay, so question hour and followed by 0 hour. It will be between 12 noon to the 1 p.m. Okay, now the 0 hour of the parliament is start from 12 noon to the 1 p.m. and it is just start after the end of the question hour. Question hour will start with the parliamentary session at 11 a.m. students. So if you see students, 0 hour is an Indian innovation in the field of parliamentary procedure and has been existence since 1962. Okay, so 0 hour precisely start at 12 noon. That is why its name 0 hour students. During this period, parliamentary operation, member of parliament can put issue that are of the public interest by the writing. Okay, so 0 hour is the contribution of which country? So students, basically this is just a fact data and it is developed in India students. Okay, so 0 hour is the contribution of Indian parliamentary system. So 0 hour is the time when the parliament can raise issue of the urgent public importance. For raising matter during the 0 hour, member of parliament must give the basically this notice before 10 a.m. to the speaker or chairman on the same day of the sitting students. Okay, and this is the power of speaker and basically the chairman. They can decline it also. Okay, now see the question number 17. Which of the following statement given below is or are correct? So supplementary question is unanswered question, cannot be asked. Sorry, it is basically unstart question, cannot be asked. So let's suppose there's a question. Okay, so there is a star and unstart, different type of pattern is there. So let's suppose there is an unstart question. So it says that here the supplementary question cannot be asked, and the reason for asking a short notice question is not to be given. So which of the following is correct answer? Okay, okay, so if you see students, an unstart question, supplementary question cannot be asked. But let's suppose it is a star question where you can ask a supplementary question also. And statement 1 is correct only, statement B is incorrect. Okay, so here the explanation are greatly written. So I will go with the explanation part. That's why I told you, and we already discussed about 15 chapter. Okay, basically this explanation of each and every question is in a very detailed format that will help you in your understanding as well as in your content enrichment. So only statement 1 is correct. The first hour of every parliamentary sitting is slotted for question hour. During this time, the member asks question and the minister usually give answer. The question are of 3 kinds, namely start, unstart and short notice. Start question, there will be a asterisk basically in this format, require an oral answer, and supplementary question can be followed. So let's suppose you ask me a question, I replied, then once again you raise a same means doubt regarding the same, so I will reply once again. So supplementary question can be done. In unstart question, students require a written answer, and so supplementary question you can't ask there. Okay, so statement 2 is incorrect because the normal notice of a question is not more than 21 and not less than 10 days. Okay, so short notice question can be asked with a notice shorter than 10 days, but remember, the member has to state briefly reason for asking question at a short notice. Okay, this question was in UPSC pre 2021. 0R is the working of parliamentary, or parliament means Indian parliament means the first R of the session. When privilege motion are accepted, it is R before question R, and it is the time immediately following the question R, student. So we all know the question R start with the 12 noon to the 1 p.m. and it is followed by the question R. So question R is between 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. So it is just immediate after the start after the question R, and it was introduced by the basically the Speaker of Lok Sabha, Hukum Singh, 1962. Now, in 19th question, what is correct about star question? We just discuss about the short notice question, start question, and unstar question. So, star question, it required written or unwritten data. So, just read the statement and then you must go with the answer. Statement 1 says that answer is given orally, answer is given in written format, supplementary question can be asked, supplementary question cannot be asked, may be discussed on answer, speaker control on answer, student. So, what is right answer for the same? Okay. Student, basically start question. Here, basically a written, oral answer will be given, and if answer is oral, then supplementary question can be asked. Supplementary question is allowed. But let's suppose if it is unstarred, then no supplementary question. Okay, because they have to provide in written format. So statement 1 is correct, statement 3 is correct because question can be asked. And if you go through the options, students, there are 5 options. Option B is going to be the more appropriate and correct for the same. Okay, so when question is answered orally, supplementary question can be asked. 20 question can be listed for the oral answer on or in a day. Now see, this question was in 2019 UPSC. Now students, Parliament of India exercise control the function of Council of Minister through what? So Council of Minister is controlled by what? Okay, adjournment motion. Basically, it is a motion if urgency or urgent matter or issue is there, and that is raised by member of parliament. So 50 member required for the same. Okay, if 50 member are ready to bring the adjournment motion. So see students, this is a motion, the normal day activity is going to be stopped and this is going to be done continuously. Okay, so see students, the Parliament of India exercise control over the function of Council of Minister through adjournment motion. Question R. So in the question R, they are discussing about the matter related to the national interest, and supplementary question. So what is going to be right answer for the same? So let's suppose I am how you people will feel ki I'm just basically getting direction from the Indrjeet sir by asking question, by asking your doubt. So basically these all 3 activity controlling the parliament, yes or no? So you'll say ki sir, yes sir, these all activity controlling the member of parliament, they have to reply the answer. So automatically this all statements are correct. Okay, easy everyone. So Parliament of India can control over the Council of Minister under through the adjournment motion, question hour and supplementary question. The first hour of every parliament sitting is slotted for question hour. During this time, the member asks question to the minister concerned. Adjournment motion introduced in parliament to draw attention of the house to a definite matter, urgent public importance and need the support of 50 members to be admitted. And supplementary question are the questions that are asked by the minister, answer to the question initially asked to him. Now see the question number 21. Who decide the question when whether a member has become disqualified under the 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution? Who will decide कि this member of parliament is disqualified? Okay, so it is the chairman of Rajya Sabha, it is the speaker of Lok Sabha, it is the president of India, and it is the Supreme Court of India. So who will decide this, students? Who will decide? So we all know the decision over disqualification. So decision over disqualification is done by Speaker of Lok Sabha and Chairman of Rajya Sabha. So these two houses, 1 and 2, they are going to decide whether a member is qualified or disqualified. Getting it? So if we go through this option, then statement 1 and 2 is going to be the more appropriate and correct for the same. But there is one more condition, students. The decision of Lok Sabha Speaker or the Chairman of Rajya Sabha is bound to judicial review. Okay, so this is also important, just remember. Now see, this was in Odisha PSC 2023. Which of the following statement is not correct in respect to adjournment motion in Lok Sabha, students? Okay, adjournment motion in Lok Sabha. It is objective is to draw the attention of the House to a recent matter of public importance. It is not correct respect the adjournment motion. The statement 2 says that it required proper and 7-day prior notice given to the chair. Okay, it will interrupt the normal business of the House. It will not interrupt the normal business. That's why I told you multiple times, whenever you read the statements, it is very important, you must see it very carefully. Okay, basically it pinpoint the failure of government in performance of its duty in accordance with the Constitution and law. And the 5th says that it is mandatory on the part of chair to permit the motion. So it is about the adjournment motion, and just choose the right answer. Okay everyone, so why this is brought? This is brought for the attention of the House over a recent matter of the urgent public importance. So this one is correct, statement 1 is correct. Okay, now it required proper and 7-day prior notice. If it is an urgent law, then there is no requirement for the 5 or 7 days notice. Okay, it will not interrupt the normal business. Student, if it is an emergency law, emergency provision for the discussion, so it can stop the normal function of the parliamentary business, students. So this is also incorrect. It will interrupt, and students, it pinpoint the failure of the government in performance of its duty in accordance with the Constitution and law. So this is not connected with any these things. Okay, it is mandatory on the part of chair to permit the motion. Okay, so what is going to right answer for the same? So if you see here, students, it pinpoint the failure of the government in performance of its duty. So if government, let's suppose in the Manipur case, they failed to control the violence, so in that case this adjournment motion can be introduced. Okay, so this is also correct. It is mandatory on the part of the chair to permit the motion. No, it required 50 members must ready to admit this, then they can, then it can be start, students. So if you see the most appropriate answer, statement 1 and statement 4 is correct. Otherwise statement 2, 3 and 5 is incorrect. So the D right answer for the same, students. Easy. So we already discussed about the explanation, so means I don't want to waste your time here once again. So question number 23 we have, in the Parliament of India, the purpose of adjournment motion, once again adjournment motion is here. So to allow a discussion on a definite matter of urgent public importance, a definite matter of urgent public importance. Okay, to let opposition member to collect information from the minister, to allow a reduction of a specific amount in demand for grant, to postpone the proceeding to check the inappropriate or violent behavior on part of the same member, students. So what you find, students, it allow a discussion on a definite matter of urgent public importance. So statement 1 is going to be correct for the same. So we already discussed in the previous question ki what it is basically introduced for the, it is basically bring for the any urgent need. Okay, so in the Parliament of India, the purpose of adjournment motion is allow discussion on a definite matter on the public importance, and students, it can stop, it can hide, it can halt the daily businesses, students. But there is a condition, adjustment, basically this adjournment motion need 50 member to be admitted. Okay, and this should not last for more than 2.5 hours. Okay, now there is a Maharashtra PSC 2017 question. Okay, which of the following statement are true of adjournment motion? So it is an extraordinary procedure which set aside normal businesses of the house, students. So it can halt the normal business. Its main objective is to draw the attention of the house to create recent matter of urgent public importance. The Rajya Sabha can make use of its procedure. It must be supported by not less than 1/10 of the member for introduction, students. Okay, so you have to choose the correct answer for the same. Okay, so just go through the statement once again. It is an extraordinary procedure which set aside the normal business of the house. So it can halt the normal business of the house. Okay, its main objective is to draw the attention of the house on a recent matter of the public importance. Statement 2 is also correct. Rajya Sabha can make use of this procedure. It is start in Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. Okay, so if you go through this, students, it must be supported by not less than 1/10 member for introduction. There is a condition, 50 member must be agree to start this discussion. So statement 1 and 2 is correct. It means that basically option A is going to be the more appropriate answer for the same, students. Getting it? Now statement 1 and 2 are true. Adjournment motion, as adjournment motion interrupt the normal businesses of the house, it is regarded as the extraordinary device. Okay, and it is introduced for the to draw the attention of the house over the definite matter, and 50 member support required here, then this is going to be start. Okay, everyone. Now the question number 25 we have, what is the objective of cut motion? Okay, to reduce the income tax, to reduce the excise duty, to reduce the expenditure on the budget proposal, and to reduce the planned expenditure, students. Okay, so this is also a type of motion, students, and basically this power lies in the hand of the Lok Sabha member, and basically there they oppose a demand in the financial bill discussion by the government, students. So these are basically 3 type of cut motion. Okay, policy, economy, and basically token cut motion. So see, this is basically introduced for the reduction in the expenditure in the budget proposal, students. So it's depend on somewhere it is 1 rupee cut or 100 rupee cut, or maybe the policy cut will be also there. So objective of the cut motion to reduce the expenditure in budget proposal. Cut motion is a power vested in the member of the Lok Sabha to oppose a demand in the bill, financial bill discussed by the government. There are three kinds of cut motion: policy cut, economy cut, and token cut motion, students. Okay, now see the question number 26, and this was in UPPSC 2014. Consider the following statement regarding the no confidence motion in India. No confidence. There is a no mention of no confidence motion in the Constitution of India, students, and a motion of no confidence can introduce only in Lok Sabha. So is Constitution of India is mentioning about the no confidence motion? Okay, so we already discussed under Article 75 Clause 3 of the Indian Constitution, collective responsibility. Okay, so here collective responsibility is mentioned. Okay, but what you find, no confidence is not provided in the Constitution. Okay, it is not provided in the Constitution, so there is no mention, it is not written there, but yes, we following the procedure for the same. Okay, and see, the motion of no confidence can only introduce in Lok Sabha because they are responsible, this Council of Ministers is responsible toward the Lok Sabha. So see, both statement is correct because here they use the no mention of the no confidence motion. Okay, let's suppose they're using that there is a mention of the no confidence motion, then statement 1 is going to be incorrect for the right time. Okay, are you? Now see the question number 27. Which of the following pair is not correctly matched? Calling attention motion, adjournment motion, privilege motion, and point of order. And I'm just going to read this and then you have to choose it. Calling motion, to draw attention of a minister on matter of public importance. Adjournment motion, to adjourn the house before the expiry of the time. Privilege motion, to draw attention of the speaker toward when then proceeding of the house do not follow the rule of procedure. And the point of order, to draw attention of the speaker towards incorrect or incomplete answer by a minister, students. Okay, now see it carefully. If we go through the right answer, which of the following is not correctly matched? So adjournment motion, we all know it is introduced when urgent law required. Privilege motion is not connected with this, point of order is not there. Calling attention is okay, it is basically draw to create, means it is created for the attention of minister, basically over an urgent law. So see, adjournment motion is introduced in the parliament to draw attention of the house to define matter of urgent public importance and need the support of the 50 member to be admitted, as it interrupt the member to admitted, it interrupt the normal businesses of the house. Okay, privilege motion, it is basically if someone parliamentary privileges of a minister is breached, and that case it is introduced. Okay, and point of order is raised by the member when proceeding of the house they do not follow the normal rules and procedure, students. Okay, now see the question number 28. Okay, and this will be your homework also. Okay, but we'll go more. Okay, you have to basically match list 1 with the list 2 and select the correct answer from the code given below in the list. Censor motion, adjournment motion, resolution, and closure motion, students. And the list basically list 2 contain 5 statements. Just read it carefully and just opt the right answer. So to draw attention of the house to a public to matter of public importance, it has been rises suddenly. So we all know this is about the adjournment motion. B1, an expression want to the confidence in the ministry to cut short the discussion on any matter. It is basically introduced for the censor. Okay, Okay. Okay, everyone. Then fourth, we have to check. House is made to declare opinion of on a particular matter. So this is for the resolution. And student, this is closer and censor. You have to be very careful. If we talk about closer, is connected with the to cut short discussion. Okay, D3, C4 and A2. Okay, censor and closer. Okay, whenever you see, just check it. So for short the discussion on any matter, that is closer motion, students. Okay, so closer motion is an expression want of confidence in ministry. It is a type of no confidence motion. Adjournment is basically if something is urgent needed, in that case this will be called. And resolution is a self-contained independent proposal submitted to the House to declare its opinion on particular matter. Closer motion is basically moved by a member to cut short the debate on a matter before the House, students. Now this will be your homework, and just give your homework in the comment box, and we'll continue from the same point in the tomorrow's class, student. Thank you so much for joining and listening. We'll meet soon. Take care. Have a great day. Okay, but before that, this book is available for the other subject also: history, geography, polity, economics and general sciences. And we all know this book contains lots of information and data that is going to help